Sacred Saturday recap 27 September 2025. Computer game Nancy Drew, the Shattered Medallion. Acoustically, I am being joined by murder of crows. A group of crows is called a murder. So there are crows outside flocking after a big bird. We get osprey, we get eagles, we get ravens, we get hawks, owls. And they're sitting in the trees looking out and cawing and flying from tree to tree. So that background noise is the crows. And here I, Tanis Coralee of Seattle, recap my Sacred Saturday computer game playing from my Sacred Saturday on 27 September 2025. The computer game I selected for play this time was Nancy Drew, the Shattered Medallion, 2014 game. This tradition is one I started as a preteen and continue on as I am able. It is a Saturday I dedicate to balanced eating and concentrated / ritualized computer game playing. I played the computer game on my 2011 MacBook Pro laptop with built-in CD/DVD slot. And here we are at the end of the day. I got in 2 hours and 11 minutes total of play. And these are my notes. This was the day, the day I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get done today. I was in the game where I left off last week was, in this game, Nancy Drew, the character I'm playing, is invited to compete / investigate on a reality television set / hosted in New Zealand. And she's part of a team with her friend, Bess. And Bess really wants Nancy to win. And so I was in last place, third place. And I was like, I'm going to venture, I guess, to progress in the game. I might need to, fulfill that friendship obligation, so to speak, of being in first place before, getting a go on the final stage of competition, because there's 5 stages of competition. And stage 5 is ready, but I'm still missing a medallion from stage 2, which is needed to complete the challenge. So I was like, okay, and I had 28 games I needed to play minimum to get just tied for first, or just ahead of first. So I played games for points and got the team to first place. And then I started connecting dots on, and I thought that would take, I was like, it was guesstimated 5 to 6 hours minimum if I won everything. And so it took me about 2 hours. So I was like, I got done much faster than I thought I was going to. Last week I was like, it's going to take it could take multiple weeks. And when I look at it, it's going to be a big play next Saturday. And so it ended up taking a fraction of the time, which is a good thing. But I started connecting dots too, because I can't really progress in the game until I keep talking to people, and somebody brought up birds and stuff, and there was this code that had to do with a nest in a tree, and each of the teams on this reality television show, there's 2 people per team, and each team is named after a bird. Speaking of the birds, the crows are making noise. So then I was like, okay, so is the missing medallion in a person's tent? Because when earlier in the game, and during stage 2, went to get the medallion, there was a piece of fabric instead. And so I was like, is this a piece of fabric from a tent, as in the nest of the team, because each team is named after a bird, or is it the nest as in it's pointing to a bird's nest? And maybe an earlier challenge in the game or stage of the game was collecting plants / flowers, and I was like, maybe there's the bird's nest is by in a tree or something, by a flower or a plant that was collected earlier in the game. And then I found, or not during today, but previously found a pamphlet on birds, which were really the teams with notes from somebody else. And so I'm I think this is one of those ones where I'm connecting the dots outside the game, but in the game I have to figure out how to connect the dots within the game. So I'm I guess it's a great place to conclude play for the day is kind of thinking about where in the game might I be able to connect that dot, because there's in these games it'll be I've looked at something 10 times, and then I have to do something in the game before then I go back and look at it again, and it's Nancy Drew goes, oh, I've seen this before, or this looks like this, and then you can go on. So I'm at the asking for permission to go to the corresponding nest kind of thing. So I keep going back to places, and I think I know where the nest is, but I keep going back, and then Nancy Drew character dies by rock slide. So I was like, okay, so is that pointing to I need to get something done in the mines because there were rocks there? So I've been making my rounds and talking to people, and so next time continue that, but also like reread the material in the game, like the written stuff in the game, and see if like, is there an exclamation out loud, is there somewhere I need to go, people I need to talk to, that kind of keep figuring it out. And then for food, and I played a game, I played Monster for each one. I played my Kyle, and he was a really good sport, and he was competitive even on easy mode. I was like, man can predict me in a good way. He's practicing his corralling me. And then I did 3 eating videos, and I kind of played around a little bit with which direction I was facing during my eating videos. And so I did a couple of candy items, so candy corn and Reese's werewolf tracks peanut butter cups, and then I did turkey with maple syrup, which are kind of seasonal but year-round, but also kind of seasonal with in the autumn as well. So that's my Sacred Saturday recap. 27 September 2025 computer game at Nancy Drew, The Shattered Medallion.